Hey guys, what's up? This is the Demon Corpse, and today we'll be talking about another interesting thing that just happened on Steam, and that doesn't really happen to many well, it probably does happen to many games anyway, but a game is not coming to Steam because it's too dangerous for the children. But for some reason, a whole bunch of other games that have maybe more extreme things is somehow allowed. I don't know. Double standards, you could say, but or maybe it's kind of like how or maybe it's like Steam's trying to tell people that they don't care, but it's mostly the some people that complain they don't want to go into legal lawsuits because some people complain anyway. Don't know why, but it's just how it is. But it's called a Dungeon Travelers 2, and those looks like there's a sequel of this game, Dungeon Travelers 2 2, and it's not coming to Steam because it's too dangerous, you could say. I know and I've been looking at this game for a while, and the only physical release it's ever gotten was on the PS Vita, and as a whole that's makes sense. The PS Vita is a very niche system. Well, sadly it is niche, I will say that. And there's a lot of interesting stuff on the PS Vita, if you know what I mean. There's some interesting stuff on that system, and even that got censored as well. Like I believe like 7 images in the game was censored on the PS Vita version when it was released back in 2015, I believe, or whenever it did get released. But it's probably not been that long because the PSV is not that old of a system yet. It feels like it is, but it's not. But as a whole, it looks like it was supposed to come to Steam, but it got censored. Well, it's just not coming. They just canceled it, and it may come to Switch. I mean, it's plausible. It's that type of. It's a game that would probably come to the Nintendo Switch, but I don't even think the company that published the game wants to release it. I know it was published by Atlas on the PS Vita, but it looks like it's by the people who made what are they the Utamaru. I can't even say it correctly. The Utamaru games. If you haven't checked them out, they're pretty fun. I've been somewhat playing them, but I have to find time really begin playing because it looks like they're all connected in somehow. So I kind of want to make sure I do it correctly. So, but I gotta find time. Sadly, it's in the pile as anything is. It's in the catalog, you could say, but as a whole, it looks like it's a game I probably will check out at some point. I may buy the PS Vita version at some point if it's a good price. It's like $77. That's not bad. I mean, that's pretty decent. I mean, for a portable game, in my opinion, because it's under $100. It's not. If it's above $100, I'm just gonna be like, really? Like sometimes, if it's something that I'm interested in playing, I'll probably buy the physical, but a little bit above 100. But most of the time, I'm always kind of firm on under $100. But it differs, but for this game, it's pretty cheap still, so I may grab it. And it's a dungeon crawler, so it is a very niche. You could say it's very niche. Dungeon crawlers are not that popular in North America, and when they do get released, you may want to grab it because it may be somewhat collectible. Even even dungeon crawlers they get a physical release on Xbox, and I would say even the 360 Xbox did have some the console, the 360 had some dungeon crawlers, but they won't. I would say they will only release in Japan only, and they weren't that popular. And that's just it. Dungeon crawlers are just not that popular in North America or Europe. They're just popular in Japan. That's why the Etrian Odyssey games aren't even coming to the HD remasters are not even coming to North America, and they probably won't be. So if you want to get that game, you may want to grab it because yeah, that's the only way physically now you can play the third one, and the third one's like 100 and I've seen it for like $200 sometimes, and that's just oh my goodness, it's way too much. Even for me, it's like wow. But you never know. You could be lucky enough and find it for dirt cheap. You never know. But as a whole, it is sad and it's censorship. And you guys know my opinion on censorship. My opinion on it is anything that's censored doesn't make sense. It's stupid. Doesn't make sense. And when it is enacted, it's on something that doesn't affect anyone, and it's just dumb. So yeah, it's bad move on Steam in my opinion, but no one's going to retaliate against Steam because most people have massive libraries on Steam, and if they just say, "Oh, I'm going to boycott Steam," well, good luck. Go find another alternative. Like there's GOG, Epic Games. You don't see that many, and that's the thing. I would say GOG has a lot of good stuff, but it's just they have a very firm dedication to DR, like no DRM, and that's amazing. I mean, I fully support that. Good job, GOG. I do support that. That's awesome, and they're very firm on no DRM. So there's a lot of things you won't see on GOG, but and if you don't know what DRM is, it's mostly digital rights management. So like if you're trying to play a game, they want like scan to make sure you're actually playing an actual authenticated version. And there are issues with DRM that most people have already got into. I'm not going to really get into it, but it's mostly frame rates have issues when DRM is enacted. So yeah, there's that issue. And I don't know. And there is emulation. I mean, if you want to play Dungeon Travelers 2 and 2v2, what the like why do companies name this stuff like this? It's so dumb. I just don't get that. Like, cause it looks like they're going to release Dungeon Travelers 2 and 2 minus 2. That's what I'm seeing right now by looking at the actual wallpapers, and I'm just like, what? Okay, that's odd, but hey, it's how they want to do it. I'm not going to question them. At least Final Fantasy was able to just do 10-2, let's be honest here. Like, they could have just done that. Or maybe it is. Maybe 2-2 is just a sequel to 2. I don't know. I don't even know if they're connected. Is there like a first Dungeon Travelers I don't know about that probably was only released on the PSP by the looks of it? Even the PSP has some weird stuff too, and that was never released here that you can find if you go to Japan or find it online. That's if you want to pay the weird prices for some people who are trying to sell the stuff. But as a whole, it's sad, but what can you do? It's just how it is. And if you want to really support the game or want to play it, just use emulation or buy a PS Vita version. That's I would say 95%, not like 5% censored. I'm not gonna say 95, but like 5% censored because of the images. They had to change some images. I I mean, okay, I don't know. It's like it gets to the point now where it's like, is there even a point to even have the ESRB? Because at this point, if these companies are just gonna just say no to these games and censor these games, what's even the point with the ESRB? And I know that games don't get rated on Steam by the ESRB. It has to go through Steam's terms of service, and that's a whole other bag of stuff that's even much crazier. What's even allowed on Steam and what isn't allowed on Steam. It's so weird, but I don't know. It's kind of just one of those situations, you could say. But that's about all. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to support me, go to my Odyssey channel. And what's your guys' opinion on this? Because it's pretty crazy as usual. I think Steam has done this before with other games that never got released on the platform, sadly. So, yeah. But yeah, still PC all the way. I think PC is the way to go as a whole because literally everything is on PC. I mean, you can play anything, but I don't know. I like still collecting physical copies if they're complete-ish. I always talked about that in my about how I collect physical games, but yeah, that's all. See you, scavengers.